Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Sundays, coming to you each and every Sunday. I am Faith Malonte, and I am happy to be here with you today. Today, we are going to talk about the verse of the day, the word of the day, and what it means to me. And finally, we'll close out with a prayer in hopes that this will give you inspiration and motivation throughout the week. With that verse of the day and that word of the day, we're going to talk about what it means to me. Feel free to comment in the box below what it means to you, and I hope that you enjoy this show. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so the verse of the day comes from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Okay? Now, faith is assurance of things hoped for, a conviction of things not seen. I'm going to say that one more time. Now, faith is assurance of things hoped for, a conviction of things not seen. Okay, so that was a great verse of the day. Now, the word of the day came from Pastor at 1LA, and basically he made 7 points that were in reference to the barriers to breakthrough giants. And he talked about today in church the giants that we face. And your giant could be any giant. I'm an actor, so my giant might be breaking through on an audition and overcoming it, booking an audition and having a successful SAG role. Or your giant might be completing surgery as a doctor, or whatever the case may be, fighting your giants and how do you overcome them and knock them down. Okay, so I'm going to read the points directly. Point 1 was identify your giant. Okay, identify your giant. Point 2 was focus on the reward, not the obstacle. Point 3 was remember who your ally is. Hello, that man up there called Father. All right, silence the voices of inadequacy and inability. Rehearse former victories, envision winning, face it, don't quit until you have won. Mean a variety of things to me, but what stands out most is that I know that I walk with the strength of the Lord, and that destiny is called by Him and Him only, and only His opinion matters. So, and that being said, okay, I'm getting ready to speak on what this means to me in a sense. And we all know the story of David and Goliath, and if you have not heard the story goes a little something like this. Basically, there was a young, small boy by the name of David who had protected the sheep. He goes off to fight this big old giant by the name of Goliath. Nobody thinks he can do it, and there's a lot of doubt, and everybody's doubting him. Everybody's telling him he can't do it, he won't do it, he's too young. He's not as experienced as Goliath as far as being a soldier and fighting in wars and stuff like that, and he's not as big. Okay, so people are saying he can't do it because of their fear, right? And naturally, when you have a giant that you're facing, as a human, your instinct is to have fear. And where does that fear come from? Why do you have that fear? You have that fear because you feel like you're not. You have a fear of failure, right? You start to have these thoughts like, oh, I'm not going to be able to take this bigger person down when I'm so small. Or, but what if he, or what if she, or what if, right? And you start to worry yourself and speak shortcomings into existence, right? And you have to be very careful with the word that you speak. You really have to come into the battle or the fight already knowing and already predetermining your victory, right? And you already know that you have somebody who's in your favor, and his name is God. And see, the message applies to any and everybody on any way, shape, or form. You don't have to necessarily. My focus as a Christian in discipleship is to bring you closer to God and to spread His word. But regardless of that fact, because we might have followers who don't believe in what I believe in. Regardless of that fact, don't miss the message, because the message is what's important. And the message is what will get you closer to God if you don't believe in God, or if your God is God's, or if your God is different from mine. The point of the matter is, whatever you believe in supernaturally, you know, that is what you have to focus on, knowing that you're going to come out victorious, okay? So, regardless of the obstacles in your way, if you stay focused on the inner prize, stay focused on the reward, as Pastor said, which David did. When he stepped on the scene, he said, if I take down this giant, okay, what is the reward? Right? He's already, him and God already have ordained his destiny. So there's nothing for David to be afraid of when he's stepping into this fight. So when you stepping up against any giant, there should be nothing that you are afraid of with God by your side. Right? And with that being said, you have to understand that even if you do fail, because what your fear is failure. When you have that fear, you start to be worrisome. Right? But even if you do fail, you have to understand that there is strength in your weakness of failure. Now let me tell you why that is. And I believe that there's strength in your weakness of failure because God is always present and with you. It's his grace and deliverance and mercy. Right? So he's always with you. He's always present in your victorious and in winning battles, and even in your unsuccessful losing battles. But there's strength in that loss or that weakness or that failure because God is more prevalent and present then. That's when he is the strongest. Especially when you're weak, God is strong, so you become stronger. And if you ever have listened to any motivational celebrity or somebody who has a platform to speak from, they always say, don't be afraid to fail. Right? And you can't be afraid to fail. As an actor, I'm not afraid to give my all and to go big. Because even if I go big, my chances of being successful are that much greater. But if I fail, it's fine, because you know what? It's already destiny for me to be a breakthrough actor, a working actor, and successful actor. That was God's determination and plan for me from day one. From day one, 23 years ago. He said this was my destiny. So it's up to me to live my life, to walk the path, and to focus on him, his word, his presence, and his being, and being able to thrive and move forward.